Kuwait, I can't believe this, they have developed some sort of futuristic, incredible gaydar that I thought only gay people had. That's right, Yosef Mindcar. Sounds like Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe. He is the Director of Public Health at the Kuwaiti Health Ministry, and he's given us this new gaydar. Let's take a look at the quote. Health centers conduct the routine medical check to assess the health of expatriates when they come back into the GCC countries. However, we will take stricter measures that will help us detect gays who will then be barred from entering Kuwait or any of the GCC member states. Let's just look at the GCC member states real quick. They are Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, or Qatar, depending on what day it is, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. So these are countries where homosexual acts are banned.
Can we put that list up one
Let's
more
get
time?
that list up one more time.
Also known as America's closest allies in the Middle East.
Really, these are all considered allies of the United States. Am I maybe
Yeah.
Oman? Oman? Can we confirm?
Sure.
Yeah, allied. So those are pretty. Yeah. All right. So we're lined up with these guys. They're doing gaydar tests. Before we get into it any further, what do you think this gaydar test might entail?
God, I don't know. Lots of fingers.
Lots of fingers.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know what they're going to do, but I hope my brother doesn't have to go to Kuwait because he's as straight as they come, but any gaydar test, he's going to fail.
Yeah?
This is a guy who gets a pedicure during the Super Bowl.
I'm sure that's on the list.
Right, and whatever they're doing, they're in Kuwait. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what the Super Bowl is, but you can't come in.
Right.
Yeah.
Even whatever I'm not sure of the methodology of how
Right.
they're going about doing this, but whatever it is, because this is so backwards, it's going to be things like that. Oh, the guy has, nicely trimmed nails. He's obviously gay. You get some bear from West Hollywood, they're not going to think he's gay. He's a big fat bear.
Right.
You know, who's going to think that guy's gay?
It's just,
They're gonna-
we're making fun of it, right? But it just invites every dumb, incorrect stereotype about gay people.
Yeah.
What-
Scary.
And about straight people.
More about straight people,
right,
I think.
yeah.
What does this say about the way we choose our allies in the United States? Because, as you said, all these are United States ally countries. And I get, obviously, every country's different, and everybody's going to have different laws. And we didn't even have gay marriage here till the last couple months, so fine. But shouldn't we have, like, a tiered system of, like, you got to have some basic human rights to be our primetime allies? Saudi Arabia, we're pretty close to them.
Yeah.
You know, women can't vote there. They can't drive. Supposedly they're going to be able to vote in a couple of years, but they won't be able to drive to get to the polling station.
They can vote for like dog catcher, like it's super low municipal elections.
Yeah, it's the low stuff, exactly. So doesn't that have anything to do with how we pick our allies, that we should have just like a basic set of standards, like you got to treat your women equally before we're allies? Does that seem
It
like too much?
definitely should. It should be that way, but it's more like, what can they offer us?
Yeah, right, what do we need?
Is there
What do
something
we
that they
need?
have over there that might...
Let's take a look at that
let's
list again.
think about that
Let's
list.
think, what is over there? What is that? I don't know. Yeah.
Does it start with an O?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there an I?
Orny or old?
Oil.
Yeah. So of course, and obviously in a region that includes the Taliban and Al Qaeda in various elements in Yemen and Pakistan and Afghanistan and other places as well. Obviously, so many of the 19 hijackers on September 11th came from Saudi Arabia. Like, it's freaking complicated, And so, what are you supposed to do? What's interesting though is that if they had a test to determine in those countries whether these people were Jewish,
Now that.
then we might actually do something,
Right.
So, but
That could be similar to the gay test because of the circumcision. So there's something.
right.
It's something about the penis.
Yeah.
That's right.
always
Jews
about the penis.
well dressed.
It's always about the
in
penis.
general. Oh, actually, Jews aren't well
Yeah,
dressed.
Ben,
What am I
what are you
talking
saying?
about?
That- yeah,
That's the dumbest thing I've ever said.
Chill out, homeboy.
Yeah, it's look, anytime you sort of break down. Look, everybody wants us to be allies with China and Russia. That makes sense, but
But they don't have great.
well, they have terrible human rights records. They have shameful human rights records. But it's better to be friends with people, and I think it's better to influence change from within, unless they're doing something particularly hideous like North Korea, or in the minds of some, Iran.
Yeah. Do you think they ever realize how much they're losing by not integrating gay people? Like, if you think of all the great things, all the great art and music and almost everything, clothes and everything that usually comes from gay people, and they don't have any of that. It's a damn shame, isn't it?
The
think
music of
so.
Kuwait is taking a major hit. Yeah, Kuwaiti music would be like the most popular in the world if they
For
would just let a
sure.
couple of gay expats back in the country.
You let like a gay One Direction, a Kuwaiti One Direction. I mean, my God,
my
they'd
God.
be huge.
Are the
we-
are the guys in One Direction gay? I don't even know One
I don't know what's
One
going
or two.
on.
We'll
One
see.
or two?
We'll see.
Yeah,
Couple of
somebody
years.
is-
Give it a couple years.
Yeah. Well, they say that one of them or two.
Probably.
Yeah. We'll discuss this off air.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was one part of the story that was great because Bahrain, which was on that list, weren't they? Was
Yes.
Bahrain on that list? Yeah. Arrested 127 people in 2011 for holding, and this is a quote from Gulf News.
Yes.
Amazing.
For holding a depraved and decadent party, which for the first time made me want to go to Bahrain. Because
What do you think what does that encompass?
I don't know, but it's awesome.
Depraved
I mean,
and
whatever. There are
decadent.
people having sex in dark corners, and you're having sex with strangers. Gay, straight, don't care. I want into that party. A party for me, 98% of the time, is like me in the corner next to no one, drinking a Sprite Zero, scanning the room for a television to watch the game that I would be watching if I'd stayed home and was enjoying myself.
I think you would enjoy yourself a lot more if you just had regular Sprite.
Sprite, it just sounds, the zero, it's like nothing. You're drinking nothing,
drinking
actually.
It was great is when I wrote that line, I had Sprite, and then I crossed it out. I was like, Sprite Zero's funnier.
See, people,
And then you come back with the funniest line of all. It's perfect.
we taught you a
Like
little
Burns and
something,
Allen.
something about human rights and a little something about comedy
Yeah,
in
there
that
you go.
segment. There you go. Hey guys, the Rubin Report is brought to you by Coupon.com. You can get up to 75% off pet toys, chews, all kinds of treats, and more. The link is right down below. Click it and use code RR for 20% off your first purchase.